Thief in the night. There is a scripture in Thessalonians about thief in the night, and there might be some other passages that allude to that same kind of phrase in the New Testament. There is so much false teaching out there that I'm disgusted. Okay, so in that passage, things got so bad prophetically and through teaching, false teaching about what that might mean, that even the Lord's house was broken into by thieves. See what I'm saying? That read the Bible like that? Because they thought they were supposed to break in to people's houses or to God's house like a thief in the night. See what I'm saying? How stupid that is? And illegal. Okay, anyway, God might have been sleeping. Or God might have been stolen from. See what I'm saying? Because of false teachers and the way they teach that passage. Oh, Jesus. So, I was also noticing in the Messianic community, they had been putting up these people, these guys, these men, as rabbis. They were making these men that looked through my head rabbis at temples, Messianic Jewish temples. And they called my head, the way I studied, Shiva. So they would say things to congregations like, yeah, I went to Shiva, and then that congregation would consider them to become some type of rabbi. So they would invest in them, pray over them. See what I'm saying? They would give to them what I'm supposed to have, kind of thing. Yeah, money, things like that. Housing. See what I'm saying? Cars, vehicle. Something that I earned, they gave to them. Okay, because they look through my head. All right, anyway. So one of the younger men, mistaught this passage to men looking through my head. And he thought that meant that is how a woman's husband would come for the woman, like a thief in the night. So there were these men, Messianic Jewish men, okay, guys that proclaimed to be Messianic Jewish, perhaps even, to the point of trying to be a rabbi because I was anointed as a rabbi, because they look through my head. Somehow they think they're me, you know what I mean? Okay, anyway. So they had the nerve to break into houses, certain men that took that verse the wrong way, to get a wife. You see, that's terrorism. That is thievery. That's stealing. That's abuse. Who the hell would want a husband like that? You know what I'm saying? That's literally like sleeping with the enemy kind of thing. Okay, anyway. Not okay, but this is what they did to the house of God. They took things like that out of context. They literally broke into the house of God, stole God's wives, God's women, as thieves, and used that verse to justify their actions. So I saw some women that were literally weeping the moment another rabbi assumed they should be married to the person that broke into the house that they were living in. You see how stupid that is? Also, that is socialism. That is communist teaching. The reason I sat through so many congregations was to investigate, to see what happened to my nation. That's why I wouldn't invite others to come with me. There was maybe a few rare occasions. See, I don't like their teaching. They're bullies, they're rapists, they're murderers and thieves. They're communist in religion, and they're teaching women through my head to be subject to men like that. Just let them bully them and be silent. That is not the teaching of God. No woman has to submit to that. That is domestic violence. That's not happiness. That's not pursuing happiness. That's abusive, life-threatening, scary. How would a woman feel safe with some kind of husband like that? See what I'm saying? Those men need to be arrested and put to death. That's illegal. They were murdering people to rob the house of God, to rob the house of David, God in the flesh. See what I'm saying? They were murdering Christ and then teaching other people to do that, to steal from Christ. They're the adulterers. They were robbing Christ of his brides, breaking into the places his women stayed at, his women stayed at. And then they would just like hover and act like they live there in order to obtain that place. And that is not appropriate. The original homeowner might be Christ. You know, the real King David. You know, God in the flesh. So those men that broke into women's homes are the adulterers. They tried to force those women to submit to them in every way possible. Through emotional abuse, sexual harassment, false teaching of the Bible, spiritual and religious abuse. God does not do that. That is not God's way. But God does fight back.